Alrighty, here we go again. Accordion Cool, Coach Dave here. Pretty sure it's me. Kind of looks like me. Okay, we're continuing along with our little, shall we say, through the years, excuse me, with different songs from different eras and decades. And earlier we did, we were in the 1920s, teens, and there were a lot of songs written at the turn of the century, but they're kind of silly songs, and so I didn't really want to include them. So these first couple of shows were going all the way up through the 1920s. And that first song was called Avalon, and it was made popular and written, actually, by a fellow named Al Jolson. I think I mentioned this on the show before, is what I was trying to say. Al Jolson was a great song and dance man. He did a lot of movies and musicals and whatever, and he performed in blackface, and that was as a tribute to all the great black musicians and people that he had the opportunity to work with way back in those 1920s. So he actually wrote this song, and Avalon is an island, I guess, off the California coast. I guess that's where the elite would go to vacation, shall we say. So he wrote the song about Avalon, and that was the song. All right, go on 1927. For our next song, and this is just kind of like a Roaring Twenties type song that they wrote, like Charleston and 5'2" and stuff like that. It's called Ain't She Sweet? So here we go. Ain't she sweet? See her coming down that street, yeah. Well, our next tune, a couple of years later, it was written, 1929. It was actually written by a fellow named Eddie Cantor. Now, Eddie Cantor was very similar to Al Jolson. He did a lot of vaudeville and that type of thing. Of course, when TV came in, he would be on shows like the Ed Sullivan Show, which if you're under the age of 60, you probably never heard of, and variety shows like that. There were a lot of variety shows way back when. And this song came from a musical. The name of the musical was Whoopee! The name of the song is Makin' Whoopee! So here we go, Little Makin' Whoopee. Making whoopee. Making whoopee. Next song, 1923. Now, I think I may have done this in a fairly recent show, but you see what happens is, you take you get a theme, and all of a sudden some songs work well in one or two or maybe even three different themes. So if you've heard this one before, my apologies. But I don't think it was too long ago. It was written in 1923. I don't know a lot about this song. It's called Carolina in the Morning. Now, I don't know if it was North Carolina, South Carolina, or both Carolinas, and I have no idea why it was written. I can't find anything that says that it was part of a show or anything like that. So anyway, here we go. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the the morning. So here we go. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Well, this next one is one of the ones that was right near the turn of the century, 1902, and one of the ones that has really survived even to this day. And I had heard one story that it was written about a fellow, written by a bartender or something, who told the story. This fellow used to come in his bar every night and drink, and his wife was aggravating him, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know if that's a true story. But it, like I said, it was written in 1902. And to this day, it survived as kind of like a jazz Dixieland type tune. And everybody knows the tune, even for more than 120 years. And it's called Bill Bailey, or Won't Y'all Come Home, Bill Bailey. Everything's forgiven. Come along home. So let's do Bill Bailey and see what happens. Come on home, Bill. All's forgiven. All's forgiven. Well, you know, doing these old songs, a lot of them you go through quick, and I think this happened in the last show. We got a little extra time, or a couple of shows, whenever it was. So we're going to have a little bonus song today. As I always say, we have bonus songs. You know, if they try to charge you on your cable bill, you call and say, no, Coach Dave threw that one in for nothing, right? Okay. Same era, a little tune called Sweet, Sweet, Georgia Brown. Let's see what that sounds like. Sweet Georgia Brown. Now I believe the origin of that song was there was a Dr. Brown in the Georgia legislature, and he announced that his wife was pregnant and they had a little girl, and the legislature decreed that he had to name her after the state, Georgia. So she became Sweet Georgia Brown. Now I believe that's possibly a true story, but you can check it out and see. So that's where sweet little Georgia Brown came from. Well, we're getting down towards the end of our time here. This last song is 1926, and this has certainly survived the years. Now, I remember way back in another lifetime, and I was doing the whole wedding circuit and all that stuff. And every wedding, you had to play some sing-along songs. And this was one of the sing-along songs, and I got to really hate it. Then all of a sudden, the jazz guys got a hold of this, and wow. So this song does come with a disclaimer. I'm going to play it pretty quick, I hope, if the fingers work. So do not try to tap your foot with the tempo, because I cannot be responsible for the sprains or strains that may develop. So an old jazz standard, Bye-Bye Blackbird. Here we go. Blackbird, and that's about what we got to say right now is bye-bye. As usual, thank you all for listening and tuning in and watching however you do get our show. We certainly do appreciate it. And once again, big thank you to the big guy behind the glass, Austin. As I've said 1,000 times, if I look good, which takes a miracle, that's the man that's responsible for it. So, and you know what else I'm going to say? If you got youngins around, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, even children, bring them in to hear these songs that are, many of them over 100 years old. So, this is Coach Dave saying, we're going to see y'all again next time, and let's take it home with, a little more Blackbird.